Everything that happens in our lives seems to happen first on the playground. From the time that we are babies, we show important parts of our personalities when we get to the playground. And I have a baby, and so I spend a lot of time on playgrounds these days. I see that some of us come into the world extroverted. We are the kid who talks to every other kid and every other parent on the playground from the first time that we have any words to say at all. Some of us come into the world extra observant, and we are the kid who stays at the edge of the playground, watching everything that happens for 15 minutes maybe before starting to play at all. Some of us use our full bodies with gusto for hours running up and down the jungle gym, and some of us sit for hours and carefully build a tiny village of twigs just outside the playground. On the playground, we see all kinds of basic human interactions, the good and the bad. Kids share their balls with strangers. Kids invite each other into games, although they've never met before. They take turns on the slide. They gather in gleeful wonder when someone's papa brings a container of bubbles to the playground. But kids also push each other down on the playground, right? And they cut in line, and kids brag and they bully on the playground. They take from each other without asking. Sometimes they intentionally exclude each other on the playground. And I think that most of us have experiences on the playground or whatever the main play space of our childhood was. These can be spaces of freedom, of feeling the wind in our hair as we swing up and down, higher and higher, or places that twist our stomach in knots if we're nervous about interacting with other kids, or if we don't know if there's going to be a way for us to use our bodies on the playground if we've broken a leg or if we're in a wheelchair. How many of you remember the joy of arriving to the playground, maybe after a long day of school or after a few rainy days when you couldn't go out? You remember that joy? Yeah. How many of us remember someone being mean to us on the playground, whether it was this last week or 70 years ago? Do you remember someone being mean to you on the playground? How many of us feel bad about a time that we were mean to someone else on the playground, whether it happened this week or 30 years ago? Yeah. Whether we are young kids or grandparents, most of us have some experience, some memory of that time in our lives. And so it's a meaningful practice for me to look at the ways that I have harmed others and all of the yet unforgiven ways that others have harmed me, and see if I can take some action towards atonement and reconciliation in my life. This week, Jews in our community and around the world celebrated the high holy day of Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. Atonement means reparation for a wrong, like reparation, like repair, repairing a wrong. So when you break something that's important, you try to fix it, right? You tape over the tear, glue together what was broken. Atonement is about fixing all of the ways that our relationships get broken. If you fight with your sibling and it creates a little tear between the two of you, atonement is about doing what you can to patch up that tear. If there's something broken between you and your best friend after you took something from them that they didn't want you to take, atonement is what you do to try to fix what is broken so your friendship feels good again. Atonement is about fixing all of these things. And though I'm not Jewish, I seek to honor the themes of Yom Kippur in my own life, and often together here at church. We sing the Litany of Atonement that my Jewish Unitarian Universalist friend and mentor, Rob Eller Isaacs, wrote. We read together our covenant once a year to remind ourselves of how we return to right relationship when we fall out. And these past few weeks, I've been thinking about how we hurt one another, how we make it right again, how we learn how to say we're sorry, how we learn to forgive someone who has hurt us. And so a couple of weeks ago on the playground, when I was pushing my little one on the swing, I witnessed a pair of siblings in the middle of one of these like classic stories of causing hurt and then working to make it right again. And I didn't see the initial hurt. I don't actually know what the brother did to the sister, whether he said a mean word to her or whether he pushed her out of the way when it was her turn on the monkey bars or what. But it was something like that, some sort of playground slight that we still have memories of, whether we're old or whether, and haven't spent a lot of time on the playground, or whether we still do. The brother did something to upset the sister. And by the time that they came over to the swings, the brother was clearly feeling bad about what he did. And he had already apologized to his sister. He wanted to play again, but she was still angry. So he kept offering to push her on the swings, and she kept saying no. And the adult that was with them helped them communicate. It went something like this. The brother said, "But I apologize. She should let me push her on the swing. I am good at pushing her on the swing." And the adult said, "I know you apologize, but it sounds like she's not ready to forgive you yet. Is that right? Are you not ready to forgive him?" And the little girl says, "Yeah, I'm not ready to forgive him." Adult says to the brother, "Let's set a timer for 10 minutes, and you can go play somewhere else, and your sister will swing. You know she loves swinging. And then you can come back and see if she's ready to forgive you after that." And the brother says, "Well, maybe can you set the timer for 5 minutes?" And the adult says, "I'll set it for 8 minutes. And I'm watching the adult. She's not setting any kind of timer. But it goes back and forth. The brother doesn't actually go elsewhere. He really just wants his sister to forgive him. He's just like waiting for it to happen. He wants it so badly. He didn't leave. He's clearly continuing to have a hard time because the brother had realized what he did wrong. He felt bad about it. He stopped doing the thing that upset her. He tried to make it right, and he asked her for forgiveness. All of these things are, by the way, what the Jewish law says that we must do to atone for the hurt that we cause one another, to repair those places that break between us and our loved ones. He had done what he could to make it right with his sister, but she still wasn't ready. She wasn't ready to forgive him. And so after what must have felt like forever to the brother, but what I'm pretty sure was just about 4 minutes of his sister swinging gleefully up and down without him, he asked again if she was ready to forgive him. And she said, "Okay, yeah, I'm ready now. You can come and push me on the swing." 4 minutes and all was forgiven. Everything that happens in our lives seems to happen first on the playground, but in a shorter way. We cause harm to those that we love, and we learn what we need to do to make it right. Jewish law writes out the steps to atoning for our wrongs, and it's part of the process of honoring Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. But lots of us know how to do this instinctively too, like that brother did on the playground. First, we realize we did something wrong, that we hurt someone. We begin to feel bad about it, and we wish we hadn't done it. We stop doing what hurt the other person. We try to make it right if we can, and then we say what we did that was wrong, and we apologize, and we ask someone to forgive us. Though we aren't always ready to forgive someone when they want us to forgive them, when they have hurt us, most of us know that if someone does all these steps that the brother did on the playground and in Jewish law, the fair thing to do is to forgive them when we feel ready. This is also actually part of the Jewish law that you don't have to have like a full-hearted forgiving if you're not feeling it yet. But if someone does, in good faith, does all that they can to make it right with you, then you're asked to at least try to let go of the grudge. At least try to let go of the grudge. So we don't have a specific day of the year in Unitarian Universalism where we try to repair all of the broken parts of our relationships. But like people of all religious traditions, including the Jewish tradition, our faith tells us to try to fix these broken places when they happen and not wait for a particular day of the year. But how many of you sometimes fail to fix those broken places in your relationships right away? How many of you, let them linger sometimes, right? Whether it's someone seeking your forgiveness or you seeking someone else's forgiveness. Like all people, we find that there are some hurts that are hard to fix, some ways that we've wronged each other that feel too scary to apologize for, some ways that others have hurt us that we struggle to let go of. And so for us, like everyone else, it's a good reminder, I believe, to look at least once a year at those things that we haven't yet made right, those things that we haven't yet forgiven, and to see what we might be able to do to repair them. Though it would be great if we could all repair our relationships in under 10 minutes, like those siblings on the playground, some of these hurts, the ones that we cause, the ones that others have caused us, they leave relationships broken for a long time. Sometimes someone leaves this world before we're able to repair those relationships. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes some hurts feel unforgivable, even after a long time. And so I'll invite you today to not feel bad if you're holding on to one of these long time hurts that you've caused or someone else has caused you. I'll invite you to not beat yourself up if it takes a long time to muster the courage to seek forgiveness. What I think is most important for each of us, for our ability to live lives of integrity and spiritual deepening, ever deepening our own spirits, is just to keep at it, just to keep trying, whether we succeed, whether it takes us a long time or not. Just to keep working towards healing those hurts that we have caused others, to work towards healing the hurts that others have caused to us. And so today we have an activity that we're all going to do together. I invite you to think of one action, just one, that you want to take towards healing. And I'd particularly invite you to think of one action you want to take towards healing some hurt you have caused someone else. If there's something else that feels really big to you, a hurt that someone has caused you, it's okay to focus on that one too. But I particularly invite you to think about the things that you might need to atone for, the hurts that you might need to work towards repairing. Those of you who are here together in person today received a postcard in your orders of service. What does it look like? Looks like this. You see, did you get one? You got one. Those of you who are here virtually, there'll be a link in the chat. August, I wonder if you can put the link in the chat sometime soon. We've got a Google form version of the postcard. Thank you, August. On the front of it, there's these words that we sung together earlier, our litany of atonement. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. And in a moment, I'm going to invite each of us to take some time to think about that one action that we want to take in the next month towards restoring a relationship. Just one action. And when we're ready, to fill out the postcard with your own name and address, or to fill out the virtual form with your own name and address. And in the blank section, maybe just put the name of the person that you want to begin to work to make it right with. We're going to send these postcards back to you. We're not sending them to anybody else. No one will see them except for the clergy, just as we get ready to send them out to you. So I invite you to consider maybe just the one name that you want to take a step towards writing that relationship in the coming month. You don't have to put anything private or vulnerable on this postcard. You don't have to find the right words to ask for forgiveness or offer forgiveness in this moment. The postcard will just serve as a reminder to you of your own commitment to take a step in this coming month. Does that make sense to everyone? And for those of you who are here online, does that make sense for you? Has anyone clicked on the link? Is it working for you? Maybe someone nod if it's working for you. Yes, link works. Okay, great. Thanks, Shay. John B. is going to play some music as we think about this one action we want to take in the coming month that we will be reminded of in our own words. And when you're finished filling out your postcard, I invite you to bring it up and drop it in the basket at the altar, or raise your hand and an usher will come and grab it for you. Let's take some time to think about what we might do this month. My friends, each word written on these simple pieces of paper, each word typed into this simple form represents so much more. An old wound or a fresh one, a large insult or a small slight, something taken that wasn't ours to take, someone in pain that we didn't want to hurt. These simple words speak to deep aches that have often been with us and those we care about for years. And yet each word that we have written this morning or typed into this form represents so much more, a commitment to healing, a promise to finally take one simple action to begin what might be a long journey of repair, an awareness that our wholeness and the wholeness of our whole human community depends on our own willingness to work to make it right when someone has been wronged. May the tenderness of the pain that lives in these words and in the words in our Google form, the radiance of promise that lives in these words, be held in the loving embrace of this community and of the love that transcends our lives. I'm going to leave this basket on the altar if any of you didn't get a chance to bring it up, and the form will be open for the rest of the day if any of you are still thinking about it virtually. My friends, may new healing begin this day. Amen, and blessed be.
Elton John sings that sorry seems to be the hardest word. What is it about that word, those 5 letters, that is so hard to say and also hard to hear? I remember vividly a time when I was 4 or 5 years old and my mom told me to apologize to my brother for something. I don't remember what the offense was, but I do remember being so mad, the kind of mad you feel in your whole body, because I was not sorry. And I felt that apologizing when you didn't mean it was like a lie, and it felt so dumb to say sorry just because it was the thing you were supposed to do. And of course, there are the times that saying sorry feels like admitting to a crime. To apologize would be to say that I had done something wrong, an open invitation for shame or guilt to wash over me. And sometimes the fear of that shame or guilt, or the loss of the relationship that might follow, has made me scared to say I'm sorry. Almost like if I don't, then maybe that thing never happened. Maybe the other person didn't notice or will forget, but we have all known the pain of being hurt by someone and know that's not true. Then there are the times when I haven't wanted to hear someone tell me they're sorry. I mean, of course I wanted to hear the words, but I didn't want to really hear them. I didn't feel like I could believe them. Either when a specific betrayal felt so painful, or when hundreds of small betrayals built up and became too much. It seems safer to believe that even though they may be sorry, they weren't a person I wanted in my life anymore. So even though I have forgiven them, I never did the hardest work of talking about what happened or trying to mend our relationship. That's how I lost one of my oldest and closest friends. Small betrayals built up over the years like poison. I started feeling like she was taking advantage of me and taking me for granted. And looking back now, I can see there are ways I hurt her. Ones I didn't see at the time because I was so determined to see the one-sided version of my story. I didn't feel like I had anything to apologize for, and she never apologized to me. And the poison strangled our friendship, and it died. I've tried to reach out in a couple small ways over the years, but they've gone without response. One thing I still haven't said is that I'm sorry. Maybe it's time. Time for me to give in a way that feels hard and that also feels right. It can also feel hard to give what feels like a significant amount of my income to First U. It also feels right to pledge a significant amount of my income to First U because First U plays a significant role in my life. My sense of community, my activism, my spiritual growth, and my personal growth. If First U plays a significant role in your life, if it has helped you to be in strong relationships with yourself, with the world, with family, chosen or otherwise, I invite you to join me in pledging generously to support First U so that it can continue to play a significant role in our lives and in our community, to help us all begin again in love. There are a few ways you can give. You can make your pledge by using the link in the chat, dropping your completed pledge card into the offering plate, or using the QR code on the pledge insert. To give an offering for today's service, you can text 215-709-5095 with the dollar amount you'd like to contribute and follow the prompts. You can find more information in the chat or by using the QR code in your order of service. For those in person, ushers will also pass the offering plates through the pews, where you can also place your pledge cards. I invite you to join John B. and the First U children performing Clean Up. Will the ushers please come forward? This morning's offering will now be gratefully received.
I want to teach you this song, all right? So if we've got any kids that want to come up and learn this song with me, you can, but everybody else should be learning it too. So come on up with me. I know you're antsy. I know you want to move, right? So we're going to learn this song. Everybody else should be learning. So you can come around, yeah, right around here is perfect, yeah. It's really fun. It's a classic gospel song called Clean Up. And parents, take note, you really want to hear this, you want to learn this song too, because it can be modified to be a great, you need to clean up your room song. All right, so I've got some kids here, I've got some ministers. It's just as good. So, the song is really simple, are you ready? And Laura, you know it, so you can help me teach it, because we learned it on Thursday night, some of our Thursday night children's music. We learned this song this week. So, the words are really simple. They're just, I gotta clean up what I messed up. Start my life all over again. That's the only words, right? Ready? So it sounds like this. I gotta clean up what I messed up. Starting my life all over again. All right, kids, can you sing that with me? I gotta clean up. I gotta clean up what I messed up. I started my life all over again. Let's try it again. I gotta clean up what I messed up.
Once more for the brave young people who came up to the front. So we hope you will join us after worship for coffee hour on the porch. If you are on the path to membership or a newcomer, upstairs for seekers with me, or if maybe you're a parent or a caregiver, grab a hoagie and hang out with some other parents. Let us sing together our final hymn. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able for number 1020, Wo Ya Ya.
Stick with me. This one's a little weird in the hymnal. Focus on the words and sing with me, okay? I'm going to sing the first line and then we're going to start it together. I'm going to sing it once, so you can hear it, and then I'll cue you. We are going, heaven knows that we are going. Oh, we know it. That's pretty good. We're already warmed up. Let's do it again.
Friends, if you lit a chalice at home, I invite you to join us now in extinguishing it with the words that we share together every week when we gather. They are in your chat, and they're in your order of service if you're here in person. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. People often talk about saying that we should forgive and forget. But the greater truth is that to forgive is to remember. To remember not just the one transgression, but the much larger story of human suffering, the larger story of relationship between each one of us. As you work towards your own stories of forgiveness this coming month, whether seeking forgiveness from another or working to see if you might offer forgiveness to someone, may you not seek to forget, may you not seek a false forgiveness, but instead to remember the deeper truth that each one of us is going through a story that none of us can truly know. May you forgive, may you remember, May we take just one step forward in our own wholeness in the healing of the world. May it be so, and amen.
Hi, I'm Reverend Hannah Capaldi.
And I'm Reverend Abby Tennis. We are the ministers at the First Unitarian Church of Philadelphia, where our mission is to awaken love and justice in our lives and in the world.
We're so grateful that you watched, and we hope that the sermon connected with your soul.
We also want to invite you to join us for a live worship service every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can always find the link to that service on our website at www.philauu.org. In these services, you'll hear words like you've just heard, and you also get a chance to greet one another, pray together, sing together, and we even hold a virtual coffee hour after services to get a chance to greet some new and old friends.
If you want to support the mission of this community and you feel moved to give, you can do so by going to the website that Reverend Abby just mentioned. You can find that link below, or you can text 215-709-5095 and follow the prompts to give.
If someone in your life needs to hear these words today, we encourage you to share this video. And again, thank you so much for watching.
We hope to see you soon.